I absolutely did, because at 12 a.m. on Monday, I was lying in bed scrolling flights and thought, you know what? I've never seen Christmas in New York. So Tuesday morning at 5:22 a.m., I drove an hour to the airport to catch a 7 a.m. flight. The goal was to experience as much of New York as humanly possible in one day with nothing but a purse. But I had exactly 13 hours before my flight home, and this city was about to test every single one of my life choices. After landing and making my way into the city, I immediately went searching for the famous Liberty bagels everyone raves about. But the line was literally out the door, so instead I stopped at Madman Espresso, where I got a latte and this buttery croissant that made me completely forget about those bagels. But I had no time to waste, so I made my way through Central Park, which was like stepping into a Hallmark movie with everything covered in fresh snow. But I wasn't here to admire the scenery all day, so I carried on to the Roosevelt Island tramway. And I understood why New Yorkers gatekeep this $5 experience. After making it back across, I headed to Bryant Park Winter Village and burnt my tongue on a toasted marshmallow hot chocolate, which was totally worth it. Since admission was free, I thought, you know what? I should go ice skating. But then I saw the price for skate rentals, $49. Therefore, that idea died faster than my phone battery, so I recharged and left to catch a ferry over to Dumbo. I hustled to the dock and made it just as they were about to pull away. It was a miracle they were running 3 minutes behind schedule. I got to the iconic street for a quick photo op, but what Instagram doesn't tell you is that after you get that photo, you have to walk the entire Brooklyn Bridge back. So let me be the one to tell you the length of this bridge is more deceiving than the clock on the Stairmaster, and my boots, which seemed like a good idea 15,000 steps ago, were making me contemplate my entire life. After finally surviving that frozen torture walk, I made my way to the famous Joe's Pizza, and it was exactly what I expected. Classic New York style, thin, crispy, greasy, and absolutely worth every painful step to get there. Feeling recharged, I headed to the 9/11 Memorial Museum. Walking through and seeing the historic building remnants, reading the names, getting a full history lesson on the attack, it was heavy but important. But I didn't stay long because I still had so much to see. So I made my way to Pier 15, where I was blessed with a beautiful sunset over the water and walked through the Watermark Christmas pop-up. Afterwards, I briefly passed through Times Square, saw the electric energy, the massive screens, the chaos, but I was stressed because my phone was at 8% and I still needed it for navigation, photos, and my plane ticket home. So I wandered through Grand Central Station to the Apple Store and pleaded for a miracle. The employee was so kind and I got to charge up to 30%. My final stop was the Summit 1 experience, but it took an hour to get to the top. So unfortunately, I had to hustle through the entire experience because I still had a train to catch back to the airport. When I went to leave, there was another long line just to get down, but thankfully a worker saw the panic on my face and helped me slip out quickly. I hopped on a train to JFK and immediately had to run through the airport because boarding doors closed in 16 minutes. Nothing says I have my life together quite like running through the JFK airport in socks at 9:29 p.m. on a Tuesday. Doors closed at 9:30. I collapsed into my seat with extreme relief. I was just grateful to be sitting down 28,000 steps later. After landing, I drove home, arriving at 12:40 a.m. I finally crashed into bed at 12:57 a.m., exactly 20 hours after this whole adventure started. Let me know in the comments where you think I should go next and follow for more spontaneous chaos.